Good morning everyone, it's Yvonne here from the Aussie Goddess to do your What's Cracking reading. Firstly, a big thank you to you all for supporting my channel. If you're new here and you've come over from TikTok, thank you very much for joining me. TikTok's my new crush. If you're interested in personal readings, find out anything about me, most of the stuff is in the box below, or you can go over to my website at the Aussie Goddess, Facebook at the Aussie Goddess. You'll find me wherever you Google probably. I'm on most social media platforms. A couple of things for those in New South Wales, because you have been asking me. I am in Goulburn on doing readings for Living Wellness Fair on the 2nd of May. I'll start advertising that on my Facebook page soon, so I'll be there for readings all day. So if you're in the Goulburn area, you can catch up with me there. From there, I'm going to head out and head towards Queensland. So Queensland. So if you're in the Brisbane area, Queensland area, if you came to see me for a reading last time, I'm hoping to sort of do much the same this time and do a day up on, I generally stay at Noosa. So hopefully you can catch me up there. So I'm heading up there probably, I will give you some dates soon, but keep in touch for those who keep asking me when I'm coming to Queensland next. And then hopefully before the end of the year, I'm going to do a stint down in Melbourne, so I'm just trying to organise that as well at the moment. So get me out of the house. Get me out of the house. No more quarantine. All right, let's get into this reading. We're going to use the Romantic Tarot for your reading today. All right. The other thing is too, I had a Facebook live planned for this Saturday and realised it's actually Easter Saturday, so I've had to cancel it. So I'll be doing a Facebook Live very shortly. I'm actually thinking of moving those to a weekday as well, so watch this space for that. I'll put it on the Facebook page when I'm ready. What a beautiful way to start the week. We have the Fool card coming through. So the Fool card is a card that talks about taking a leap of faith. It's like jumping into something without really thinking about it. And yes, you could be considered foolish for doing that, but sometimes we just need to take the risks. We can't always live our life within the confines of a safety zone. So, you know, you may be very used to being in your comfort zone, but something this week is going to call you to jump outside of that and take some sort of risk here. The Fool card means we're all starting the next stage of our lessons, the next cycle. Many of you have now closed out the last cycle. If you haven't closed out yet, I'm sure it will be happening very soon. The full moon yesterday sort of got a lot of people shifted. A lot of us are realizing our limitations. A lot of us are understanding what we're doing that isn't really serving us. So I feel this week it's a very big week for many with the Fool card coming through. Okay, so that makes sense completely, because if you've been in hangman mode, you would have been looking at things from a very different perspective. So for many of you, it may have been that realization, that little bit of a wake-up call that perhaps you were still traveling in the same direction, perhaps you were still doing the things the same way as you'd done them before. And the Hanged Man sort of says you've taken time out and you've seen things from a different perspective. And I know, because you guys write up on my page all the time, so I know that a lot of you have said, you know, I've just realised this, or this has just happened. So I know a lot of this is coming into play at the moment. But the Hanged Man does say that you've taken time out, you've seen things from a different perspective here. All right, so we have the Nine of Swords. So for many of you, this is the energy of letting go of anxiety, letting go of negative thinking, letting go of perhaps catastrophic thinking. Maybe you've started to understand how to take your power back. You may have started to understand how to work with these energies. If you haven't, this is coming in at the moment. So it may be that you're on a pathway for this. Sometimes when I do these readings, people say, when is this happening? Has it already happened? Will it happen in the near future? Tell me. And I always say, I've put a video up at the beginning on my page to talk about how the readings can pan out for people. If you go and have a reading with someone who does tarot, a psychic, a medium, very often the energies that come through are your energies. So sometimes that can mean it could happen in the next week, and I've had people that's happened with. Sometimes it can take a month, sometimes it can take longer. For me, some of my psychic readings have taken around about 3 years. So there's very different energies for all of us, and it may play out in different ways, but don't expect a tarot card reading to come through in that amount of time unless the reader's actually said to you, this is in your energy at the moment and about to take place. Okay, so we have the Two of Pentacles coming through. So there's some sort of decision that needs to be made here. For some of you, it may be we have the Page of Swords and the Page of Pentacles coming through here with the Seven of Wands. There seems to be some sort of decision to be made, and I'm feeling with the two pages here, it may have to do with some sort of choice or direction that you're thinking of going in. You may be, because it's a brand new start, thinking of sort of venturing out into something new here, because I see you researching, looking for things, understanding a direction to go in. You may be looking at a new job, money coming through, and looking towards the future, trying to understand what direction is calling you next. Because I do see movement coming, but I also see the Seven of Wands here, which means there's something here that you are deciding. There's the Ace there. So you're deciding on some way or direction to go here. Now, it could be for some of you with that Two of Pentacles, it could be around new job, new money-making sources. It could be moving towards study. But I feel like some of you here may be making a choice in relationships as well. Maybe choosing to move away from relationships or choosing to move in a particular direction. But whatever it is for you here, there's this sort of energy of wanting to sort of start something new, wanting to move in a different direction. We get that. We sort of look like we've left a lot of stuff behind, and we're looking forward with clear energy now. So it's possible that for any one of you, you could be choosing something or moving in a different direction because something new is calling you. It's like you want to start something new here. All right, let's dig a bit deeper. All right, so we have the Eight of Cups coming through. Well, that makes absolute sense now after seeing that sort of little mini read. So a lot of you may be deciding that where you've been or what you've been doing up until now has not served you so much on the emotional plane. Maybe it's something is not meeting your needs. And sometimes we just have to turn around and walk away with the Eight of Cups to find what we're looking for. Now, for many of you, this may be in different areas of your life. It could be that you're deciding to move in a different direction because you do not feel where you are is right for you. Maybe you've sort of trickled off a little bit and got a bit complacent. But this week, you're looking like you're much more determined. It looks like you're taking your power back, and you're definitely heading in a direction that's going to bring you more fulfillment. Oh, that one wants to come out as well. All right, so we have the Strength card coming through. Well, again, beautiful. Absolutely makes sense. So the Strength card is a card that talks about becoming stronger in ourselves. And for me, it's really about taming those parts of yourself that perhaps have got a little bit away with you. So maybe this is why you're getting your power back. You're starting to understand some of your limitations. Maybe you're starting to understand some of your shadow side, the things that you've been doing that probably aren't serving you. But what's coming through here greatly is this energy of wanting to move in a direction and having, I want to say, the wherewithal to do that, sort of the understanding now of how to move in a different direction. I'm really liking this reading today. It's very light, which is nice. All right, so we have the Six of Swords coming through. I love this because the Eight of Cups, Six of Swords, both tell me that you're moving away from things that no longer serve you. What I love with the Eight of Cups, you're leaving things behind. You're not taking things with you. They're too heavy. They're too weighty. You may have used them all up. They may not be bringing you satisfaction. But with the Six of Swords, this tells me that you've learned a lot of lessons in this period. You've understood there's been some sort of great understanding here, especially with the Strength card in the middle. So it's sort of like this energy here of leaving things behind, understanding why you're moving forward, understanding what's affected you up until now, and actually put those things either to rest completely or integrated them into your complete self. So accepting your shadow. So you may be understanding things about yourself that you didn't understand before, but you're moving forwards whole and complete, and that's beautiful. Really nice energy. Completed. Accepting those things that you've done in the past that haven't served you, learning the lessons, putting them into play now. All right, so we have here the Two of Wands. There we go. So you're actually moving in the direction you should have been moving in. But something here was holding you back. Something was sort of, I don't know, sort of maybe blocking your journey. Maybe there was a lesson that was still there. Maybe there was something that was still stopping you from taking this path. But you're going now. All right, look at this. I'm loving it. So you're coming up as the Magician. Now, I always think when I see the Magician, that's the right place, right time for anything. So you'll be in a manifestation mode now. So you've cleared some sort of blockage that was stopping you from manifesting here. So now I feel that you're really all guns blazing now, wanting to get out there, wanting to do what you need to do, and you're going for it with that Magician. All right, so we have the King of Cups coming through here. So for some of you, maybe going after romance with the Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. There seems to be some sort of love offer here with the Knight of Cups. Maybe is the Knight of Wands. I have the Knight of Swords coming in right behind him too. Okay, Two of Swords coming through. The reading is full of decisions. Full of decisions. Okay, and then we have the Chariot out the front. So what this is saying to me here, apart from the fact you might be dealing with a Cancer, because it's quite strong on Cancer energy here, or you may be a Cancer yourself, this is a general reading, but what the Chariot's telling me is you now have all your ducks in a row. The Chariot can't move forward until you've got your energies all aligned with each other, and that's what the Chariot is about. It's about having yourself aligned with your journey. Now on this deck, as you will say, please take notice of the pictures on the decks, because they do show you different visions of how things are, or illustrations. In this particular deck we have oxen, which means to me there must be movement, but it might be very slow at this time. So you might have things happening, but you might want to go a little slower than you have before. Maybe that's something to do with the lessons you've learned. In some of the decks, the horses are racing, but in this one, we see this slow progress. But I do like this for you, because I feel like almost like you are being reborn, you're starting again, so you're being cautious about how you move forward. Now, for some of you, as I said, romance is here, because you're taking or making a choice to follow something here, follow your heart. Maybe you're feeling like you're in the right place at this time, but you're going after something here. There's a decision to be made, and we'll get a little bit more information, but I do have like a few twos here. So I want to see why you're moving in a particular direction, but I do feel for some of you it's different things. We do have the Fool card coming through, which implies some sort of leap of faith here after realizing or having some sort of realization to move in a different direction. We do have the Nine of Swords, so I feel like some of you are leaving the stress, worry, anxiety of the past behind. There's another two here, so we actually have 3 twos in this reading. Which twos? The Two of Cups is missing, so you're definitely, some of you are going after love here. Two of Pentacles showing me that for some of you this may be about changing career, moving in a different direction, money making. There seems to be some action taken here. I feel like perhaps some of you are doing your research here. There's this sort of sense of, you know, being determined to find out which direction to go in. But I feel like some of you are leaving the troubles of the past behind here, especially with the Ace of Wands coming up here. It's very much this energy of leaving things behind and going after what you want. Maybe not settling anymore. Maybe you've been settling for something and haven't realized that you were settling. Maybe you are just not finding the satisfaction that you want. Oh, Nine of Wands coming through. Maybe some of you have been cycling in things, going round and round doing something, and you finally found your way out of the loop. All right, so we have 3 2s in this reading. So what is it that everybody's heading for here? I feel like for some of you here, you're manifesting a new relationship. Manifestation is on the cards though. Ooh, definitely. All right, let's have a look. Well, there's the Ace of Wands again. So you're definitely after a new start somewhere. All right, so we have the 5 of Swords, leaving things behind again. And then we have the 4 of Cups, leaving things behind that do not satisfy you here. And then we have the 10 of Wands. There's the end of that cycle. So you're closing out a cycle, opening another cycle, and yeah, there's the Ace of Pentacles. So for some of you, this is about following your passions. For others of you, this is about following something that makes you money. It definitely feels like it's a money-making venture. For others of you, it looks like you're really determined here to make something happen in the love department. There's definitely this energy of chasing up love, following up love, making some sort of decision to go towards someone here. So maybe you've been contemplating that for a while, and maybe you're making a decision now to go after love, if that is what you want. But whatever you're doing here, you are now able to manifest what you want. Go for it. The universe is telling you you're ready. So for many of you, you've closed out this cycle and you're now moving forward. Oh, love it. The light field. Card 63. Oh, and we go straight to the page. You are very open to the other side. The veil that separates the worlds is very fine for you, for there is much love in your heart, and love exists beyond all barriers, including those of time, distance, and even death. If you wish to communicate with those who have passed on, do so through your heart. If you want to communicate energetically with your beloved, even though you are separated in physical location, then you can do so now, which is, I think, what some people are doing here. If your psychic abilities are opening and you need confirmation or reassurance, accept this message of guidance as being such. Those who have passed can be received fully and peacefully into the light, and your love guides them home. The messages that you sense in your own heart that come from unconditional love, that uplift and reassure, can be trusted. The light is so close to you, beloved, it surrounds you as a glow from within. This oracle brings you guidance that you're connecting with a field of awareness that is real, and that you are protected by light as you do so. It is confirming that there is nothing for you to fear. So, and that those who passed on or will pass on in future will always be safely held in love. It's also confirmation that there are real bonds that connect you to your loved ones, past, present, and future, that are beyond the confines of time and space. I feel like you're getting heavily supported by those on the other side at the moment. So you may have very strong angelic support, if that is how you see the energies that support you. For others of you, let it be known that you are being very strongly supported by the universe here. I'm going to read the poem here. When I'm in love, I'm not afraid to be any part of me. I let it all be free for the world to know. And when I'm ready to love, I will create a reflection of who I am. And we will shed our fears, complete our past, and trust love to be our guide. So maybe some of you are going after love here. Maybe you're looking now for somebody who really reflects back to you the type of love you want. I'll leave you with that. Thanks.